still, my mom was actually also HIV positive. She got hers through IV drug use. Both my parents were IV drug users. But my father was, you know, he was a managing drug, right. You know, he worked, you know, Monday through Friday.
Functionable.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends he, you know, partied. And then after my dad passed away, my mom kind of got into it full swing and kind of lost it. I actually had her committed.
To a psych ward?
Yeah. Because after my dad passed, she just lost it. She would sit on the end of her bed and go, "You hear him? You hear him? That's your dad." I didn't know what to do, you know, so I called the ambulance and had her committed.
So where's she at now?
She is in New Jersey, still battling her drug addiction. It's, you know, it's an uphill battle, but I can see some progress.
She's not still in the psych ward?
No. She, you know, she got out about 6 months later. You know, she decided that she didn't want to come home. You know, so she moved in with her mom, and I lived by myself for about a year. My senior year in high school, I was living by myself. My grandmother, my dad's mom, paid all the bills.
Oh wow!
And I was basically living by myself.
This is Street Talk, and I'm Cy. Today I'm talking to Shelton Jackson, and he's the author of the book, The Second Chapter, The Acceptance, and he's just telling us a little bit about his family history and the journey that it took him to write this book. So Shelton, you pretty much were talking about that you raised yourself?
Pretty much with my grandma, you know, with my mom's help. It's okay. I was a good kid, you know, so there wasn't much worry about me. You know, my brother was the bad seed, so to speak. Okay. So I was the one I actually had to lie to get my parents to come to school to check on me and stuff. It was just.
So you had to do things to just get attention, so that because they pretty much felt like you were okay. Right. So what was like? Tell me some like the journey as far as being HIV positive that your body went through.
Like I said, for the first 3 years, I basically ignored it. And when I actually started getting sick, you know, my colds lasted a little longer. You know, I got sore throat often. I had, you know, random sores in my mouth. You know, that was when I, you know, went to the doctor and was like, okay, you know, he was like, okay, it's time to start taking medicine. And I still look, you know, I still wake up every day and go, you know, you look in the mirror and you go, I look fine, I feel fine, but you got to take these pills that tell you you're sick. Okay. And that's what messes you up. It's the mental part of the disease that really just throws you for a loop.
How many pills or medication do you have to take a day?
Now I'm on 6 pills a day. Wow. When I first started, I was on 3, but I became resistant to one of the meds, so I had to change my regimen. But it's still working. I am second generation undetectable.
What does that mean?
The way that they measure how bad the virus is by the viral load. The viral load is the number of copies of the virus in your body. Okay. And when it's considered to be bad once it gets above 200,000. And first generation undetectable is you have less than 500 copies of the virus in your body. The second generation, when they redid the test with new technology, is less than 50 copies of the virus in your body. So I am second generation undetectable. And I have a T cell count of 340 actually. And according to the federal government, when your T cells drop below 200, you're considered to have full-blown AIDS. And just 3 years ago, I had 3 T cells. Wow. Yeah. An average person has between 1,500 and 2,500 T cells. That's your immune system.
Oh, well. So, what is it like? You said, you know, basically you was in denial, but when you take the medicine, it kind of reminds you of, you know, that you have HIV. What is it like psychologically wise? Did you need like to go to a psychiatrist or anything to deal with it? Yeah,
actually I did. It was too much for me to handle. You know, even my writing didn't help me. You know, so I had to, you know, the doctor I was seeing, he had a therapist as part of the treatment circle. So I did, you know, individual therapy. I did group therapy with other people that were HIV positive, and that helped tremendously. You know, I'd recommend it to anybody that tests positive, you know, because there are so many things that go through your mind, you know. I contemplated suicide the first time in my life. I never thought I'd do that, you know, and I'm like, you know, only, you know, crazy little white kids do, you know, commit suicide. But you know, I actually thought about it, you know, and it scared me. It scared me really, really bad.
So do you teach abstaining from sex?
that's just not realistic in this day and age. You know, we all have needs and desires, and I don't know what, you know, in my world, that's just not realistic. You know, so I just teach people to protect yourself.
So Shelton, do you ever fear death?
Not anymore. I did. I was very afraid of it, but HIV has made me become very close to God, and I don't fear it anymore. You know, this is my legacy. You know, I don't even need to have kids now. This is my child. I gave birth to this book, and through my words, it'll help somebody.
So how did your family take it when you told them that you were HIV positive?
Well, they didn't take me coming out the closet very well. My mother's side of the family actually stopped talking to me. So when I told them I was HIV positive, it was kind of a, you know, I told you so kind of thing. And that wasn't really what I needed at the moment, you know, at the time. You know, so my friends became my family, you know, and that's my support system. You know, and when my first partner passed away, they came around, you know, because I guess they got scared, you know, that I would be next. And, you know, I guess they didn't want to feel guilty.
Right.
But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, you know, when I needed you the most, you turned your backs on me. You know, I can forgive you for that, but I will never forget it.
So all that you said today, with your family not being that support system, you being the good seed, your brother being the bad seed, in order for you to get their attention, you had to kind of act out or lie. Do you feel like your sexuality is a part of acting out the loneliness or the rejection of your family?
No, not really. This is who I am. You know, I don't find women attractive that way. This is just who I am. If I tried to be anything else, I'd be living a lie. So I just have to be who I am.
You never found women attractive before?
No, I find intelligence attractive. You know, and there was this one girl in high school, you know, she was smart as the Jesus. You know, it was just, you know, she got a full scholarship to Princeton, and I thought she was just the sexiest thing in the world, but it just, you know, it didn't go any further than infatuation.